Alright, so I debated making a video about this, but at the same time I gotta kind of post my successes and failures, just in case anybody out there's watching and wants to learn anything from my videos, which you probably won't, but here's my attempt to educate a little bit. So I got these steers and this heifer, and when I first got them, they were real skinny and stuff, and I got them transported over to my friend's farm, and they were all good and they were fine. See that one right there? But when maybe a couple days before I picked him up off his farm, this black steer right here had a foxtail in his eye, and that kind of is causing me a lot of problems. Problem number one was I got the foxtail out. Problem number two is pink eye set in, and pink eye set in, and it's pretty ugly. I have to do something about it. Like, I've already started treating it with some vetrimycin, I believe it's called. It's just like a bleach solution, and it's supposed to sterilize the eye, but it's pretty ugly. So I think I'm gonna move on next to the patch, an eye patch, because I can't keep the flies off of it. I already treated these guys with he's not gonna let me look at it or get a good look at it, because he was so nice too, but he's gonna give me some problems. Anyway, yeah, so this is the stuff I've been treating it with. Vetrimycin, pink eye, antimicrobial pink eye, and it's got some kind of acid in it, hypochlorous acid. Let's see if we could focus on there. Focus. Let me see if I could tap the screen here. No. Anyway, it's hypochlorous acid. And what that does, just it creates a nice sterile environment in the eye while it's in there. The problem is you got to treat the eye like 4 or 5 times a day, and that's kind of it's really hard to do, especially when you're working full time and overtime and all that good stuff. And so I treat it twice a day, and I'm doing my best, but the eye continues to get a little worse. It continues to get worse. So next step is definitely I'm gonna have to patch that eye, kind of keep the flies off of it and everything. Like I said, I've already treated them for external parasites and internal parasites, but the flies, it's hard to keep them off their face. And this is going on about a week already with the pink eye. There was some improvement. It is showing improvement, but I think I just need to patch it and shut it off. And I think I'll make a kind of like a log on those, but how that works out. 10 days later it falls off and all this good stuff. Anyway, I'm getting kind of sidetracked here. But yeah, this is the stuff I'm treating it with, and essentially what I was doing out here is getting all this crap. It was just kind of laying everywhere, and this is my feed bowl, but I was getting all this loose dead tree carcass and putting it all in one pile. That way they get more of an area. I did broadcast seed some white clover, some crimson clover, and some Bermuda. And the Bermuda is essentially the staple diet that's going to be here, in the legumes like the clover. And I also planted some alfalfa, broadcasted some alfalfa. All that is going to be basically nitrogen and protein, but the Bermuda is going to be the staple forage here. You can already see a whole bunch of this growing through. You see a lot of the Bermuda growing through, but this is Bermuda that was already existing here. They munch on it, but not very much. I don't think it's sweet enough yet. So I've been irrigating just about every day, trying to get some germination, and I ended up getting some germination. So I have somewhat of a success story, and it's gonna be hard to see. My fat ass is in the way. Oh, I got some right here actually. Get out of the way. You can see a lot of it coming up there. If I could get out of the, there you go. That was just broadcast seeded, and most of this stuff germinates in a couple days anyway. So yeah, but anyway, pink eye. Pink eye, normally I would treat it with LA 200, LA 300, depending on the size of the animal. But here's the deal, we can't get that anymore here in California without a vet prescription. And it sucks because you used to be able to buy that over the counter, but jackasses used to use it for anything and they don't know how to use it. Main thing with, especially with like LA 300 and Thailand 200 and all these other antibiotics, is they're very picky on how much you put in a single location. You're not supposed to inject more than 10 cc's in a single location, and on a decent sized steer it'll be like 30 cc's, so you have to do 3 injection sites versus 1. People become lazy and they put it all in one, and that's where the problem persists, because it leaves residues, it leaves antibiotic residues beyond the what's it called, it's like a period of time before you could slaughter. I forget what it's called, but those residues could last, you know, let's say that the time is 21 days, and if you put 30 cc's in one injection site, it could last up to 60-80 days. Those antibiotic residues are pretty significant, and it's bad. It's not good. You don't want that, because then people get a low dose of antibiotic all the time, and you know, those antibiotics stop working eventually because we're essentially consuming them at all times. So anyway, that's one of the reasons why it's not available. But here's the kicker, it's only not available in California without a vet prescription. Everywhere else in the country it's available, but you know, that's California in general. Can't buy guns here. We have to buy them off a special list. They have to meet special requirements, all this other dumb crap. But anyway, I'm not gonna get too involved in that. If you didn't figure it out, I'm pretty conservative, especially since I'm, you know, building a farm in an urban environment. Anyway, I'm gonna stop being political and go on, and hopefully we could treat that pink eye. Hopefully this guy will let me see. There's a bunch of plastic and crap down here that I gotta pick up. I'm working on it now, trying to make it more, you know, better site. But like I've said before, this place was kind of like wasn't used for anything, and was kind of just used as dumping grounds. And you can see there's a very, very old pot, probably from the, I don't know, I would say probably as far back as the 70s. So anyway, 2 steers are on the left and the heifer's on the right. They're over there grazing on some of the residual oats I planted here. But they're not bad for a dairy breed. They're looking good, man. I'm feeding them about 10 pounds of grain twice a day, and that's for all 3 of them. But you know, the heifer over here, she seems to be the one that eats them all, and it's doing really, I mean, they're looking good, man. We won't get any like award-winning ribeyes, but they'll be longer, they'll be larger. But what I'm really trying to get is that intramuscular fat, make them nice and tender, all that good stuff. But I don't have flat land, so we'll see how tender they'll be. But they're looking good, especially the heifer. I don't know, might keep her around. Might not make her beef. She's not really quality though. Like I said, I got these and they were kind of problem children. And you could see right there on the back, she had, oh, what the hell is it called? I can't think today. She had mange. And you could still see a little bit on her legs. Right in that area. And she had a little bit in here too. And that was mange. But I treated them all with, and you can see a little round spot right there with him, on him. And that's either ringworm or mange as well. But it looks like ringworm. Again, they were all treated for parasites, and ringworm is not really a worm. It's a fungus. Or it could be like a mange, but it's a fungus. It's topically treated. But I hit them with ivermectin, so we should be good. They've only been here a week with me, and I had them on a friend's farm, and he was, you know, he's not really into the, he has an organic farm, so I couldn't really treat him there with anything, and I respected that, you know what I mean? That's his decision, it's his property, and I just had him there for a while. So once we got him here, we pumped him up. We hit him with ivermectin, dewormer, and, you know, anti-parasital. And I hit him with, I hit this black steer because he got shipping fever.